several debt collection notices for debts I didn't recognize, so upon investigation, it turned out they were taken out by my son's wife, Michelle, and since they couldn't collect from her, they came to me. I don't know what you've been spending it on, but living beyond your means to indulge in luxuries will only ruin you. After living off your husband's money for years, you have no right to lecture me. You might see it that way. I've also consulted a lawyer about your debts, along with my husband's issue, so you'll be hearing from them too. My husband and Michelle were still muttering something over the phone, but I didn't have the time to waste, so I hung up. The day after my day off, when my husband went to work, it seems he was given the cold shoulder by everyone on his floor. According to what he heard from a colleague, the news about the preliminary garnishment of his retirement funds had somehow leaked, and many people came to know about it. As a top salesman on the fast track, he had a few offers for re-employment or a position at a partnering company, but those opportunities were cut off due to the rumor about the garnishment, and he ended up resigning. Though he barely managed to restructure the loan, their lavish lifestyle up to that point meant they were living hand to mouth. You said something different. You claimed your job at the supermarket was part of learning business management, and you'd eventually work at a big company through Dad's introduction, right? It can't be helped since Dad quit his job. You're the one who always asked Dad for things. Why don't you sell some of those branded items you begged for and add to the household income? It's no joke. If your father had fallen this low, I never would have married you. Michelle had decided to marry my son partly because she thought she was getting an elite father-in-law. So she was initially furious when the reality was different. It seems my son also promised her a lavish lifestyle, claiming that once he got a job through my husband's influence at a big company, they could have anything they wanted. However, that never materialized. Michelle's screaming and rampages caught the attention of the neighbors, and at one point, they even required intervention from the authorities. Her abnormal behavior and outbursts eventually led to mental health issues. And stress-induced binge eating made her gain so much weight that she couldn't support her own body, leading to her being banned from some stores, as I was told by acquaintances from the old neighborhood. Starting over at this age requires a significant effort, but that seems unlikely now. My son's situation was no better. He had been fired from the supermarket job after causing trouble with a customer. I had heard about his problematic customer service before, but it escalated into a full-blown argument that he couldn't control, leading to his dismissal for causing destruction to store property and merchandise. He often boasted about not belonging in such a trivial job, claiming he'd work at a big company and make a name for himself, but his future looks bleak now. I'll show you. I'm not someone to be stuck in a place like this. Even after losing his job, he continued to boast on social media, trying to appear bigger than he was. Moreover, believing his father had money, he did nothing for job hunting, spending his days between home and gambling. Michelle, as a woman, you should at least be able to do some housework. I have no business taking orders from a jobless, penniless father-in-law. My husband, who had never done housework, tried to pass it all on to Michelle as he did with me, leading to ugly disputes. Hearing such unbearable details from acquaintances suggests the actual situation must be quite bad. As for me, after the divorce was finalized, I'm now living a free life in Hawaii. Thanks to secretly continuing my blog alongside part-time work for years, I had saved a considerable amount of money. My husband was too busy making snide remarks to notice what I was doing, let alone the existence of the blog or the savings that allowed me to buy a new house. Moreover, my long-term blogging caught the attention of a company interested in my work on travel and local information, leading to an offer to write about the charms of different places. Choosing Hawaii, a place I had long admired, turned out to be the right decision. The warm welcome from the locals, even to someone from outside the area, has been nothing but grateful. Living alone now, I quickly made friends, leaving no room for loneliness in my daily life. I'm glad that years of hard work have allowed me to achieve a happy and free life like this. Just like the people living in this area, I too want to continue living my life with compassion towards others.